I'm Francesca and welcome back to Law of Attraction Changed My Life. I make new videos here every single Friday, so if you haven't already, please do subscribe. This week I have a life-changing equation for you. And I don't use life-changing very often because I feel like a lot of people that teach like Law of Attraction and life coaching and all that jazz are always like 7 life-transforming ways to like transform your life. I don't know, but it's always like a little bit gimmicky or a little bit like clickbaity, and I'm not down for that. I think you can only change your life through hard work, persistence, and getting in the right frame of mind and the right vibration constantly. And so I don't know what I'm rambling about, but this is the thing that I discovered this week. So a little while ago, I bought Jack Canfield, my favourite author, his book, The Success Principles, and I lent it to a friend, and it is a huge, huge book, and I never actually ended up reading the entire thing. So I felt super guilty about that, and I was laying in the bath, and I was like, do you know what? I wonder if I can find his book on YouTube, like as an audio. And sure enough, it's on there. It's freaking 6 hours long. That's how long the book is, 6 hours of reading. And so I started listening to it. And he said something that absolutely, retrospectively, has changed my week and has changed my thinking. Now, I know that I often recommend listening to a lot of audios from You Are Creators and We Are Creators, whatever it's called, and all these things. And a lot of it comes in and goes out, and you know, some of it's good, some of it's bad. But sometimes you find something that completely changes your way of thinking. And, sorry, I'm really itchy. This resonated with me and has actually benefited my life this week, so much so that I knew I had to share it with you. So he was talking about how there is this equation in life, and it is E+R equals O, which is event plus reaction equals outcome. Now, as we know, the secret to happiness is not trying to control things that are outside of our control. That is the first thing they teach you in the AA, not that I've been, but it is that, grant me the serenity to accept things that I cannot change. You cannot change the events that happen in your life. Things are going to happen, they're going to fuck your day up. Things are going to happen where you're like, why are you such a dick? These things come into our lives and we cannot change that. The second that you accept that and stop thinking, why me, you will be a lot better off, trust. The thing that we can control is our reaction to them. Now, the thing I always say about Law of Attraction is it's simple, but it's not easy. And I think that's the thing with a lot of these things. This is very simple, basic stuff, but actually applying it in your life is a lot more difficult. Your reaction to an event will completely change the outcome. So a great example is, for the last year, but probably more in the last 6 months now. By the way, I don't mention any names in this because this is like my thing, you know? I like to share with you guys, this really helps me. But other people in my life perhaps don't want to be shared. So an unnamed person in my life constantly kinds of questions where I live and how I live my life. I am a London girl. I've lived here for 8 years. The second that I could move out, I kind of did, and I moved to London, and I absolutely love it here. I own my home. That's something I'm really proud of. I managed to do that when I was like 23, 24, and I freaking love it here. I absolutely love it. I don't see any downsides. And somebody in my life is always questioning it and always saying it's shit, it's not suitable, it's the worst place in London to live, which, by the way, Islington is totally not the worst place in London to live. And just kind of questioning my lifestyle. And for me, I don't even need to justify this because I know myself, but it's like, I now have 2 bedrooms here. I overlook like beautiful trees. I don't overlook a road or anything, or like road noise or pollution. I literally work 30 seconds from my apartment. Okay, I'm justifying myself to you and I don't need to. So anyway, I'm sure it's something to do with pregnancy hormones and nesting and all that jazz, but I feel like every time this conversation is brought up about how unsuitable my home is, it will actually bring on, I know I've mentioned a few times, I've had like prenatal depression and panic attacks. I've actually now been diagnosed with a panic disorder, where if somebody mentions that I can't live here or that I shouldn't be living here, I literally start to get so panicky that I'll have a panic attack, I can't breathe, I'll cry for about 12 hours, like legit, like 12 hours, all my lashes will come off, it's horrendous. And it is the one thing that really gets me down. I've actually been seeing a couple of people at hospital in the actual mental health department about this, because apparently it's quite common in pregnant women, and especially things concerning like unsettled life. Like, you need to be settled and kind of nesting, and so this is something that really affects me. And every single time this topic is brought up, I'm like, oh my God, like I literally like start to panic, and I literally have an episode that can sometimes last 2 days. So I listened to this Jack Canfield thing probably last week, early to late part of last week. And this Monday, just gone, so this is like a couple of days later, I was feeling quite anxious, and I messaged the people that I'm around and I live with and that are around me at work, just saying, just so you know, I'm feeling super anxious today, because I have to warn people now, because you can say the slightest thing to me and I'll be like this person that often talks about my home life situation went out, and I saw them that night, and like, you know, we're all like after a few drinks, like, it's fine, whatever, I'm probably the same, but started talking about how shit my area is. Basically, he'd been to McDonald's at midnight. If you go to any McDonald's at midnight, it's gonna be fucking grim. You're gonna see some hood rats there. But it just kept going on about like how horrible the area is, how unsuitable it is. Now, this would be a prime time for me to be like going to full meltdown mode. And something in my mind was just like remembering the Jack Canfield thing. And it's like, okay, this is the event. Insanity is the same thing happening over and over again and expecting a different result. I've reacted in the same way so many times. This is always going to happen. Like, this person is always going to make these comments about your home. So how about you try to react in a different way? This was fucking hard for me. I won't lie, it was hard. But I just was like, okay, cool. Your area is really shit. It's such a fucking hood rat place. Like, there's so many gangsters out. I can't even remember what was said now. I'm just making this up. I was just like, okay. So anyway, how was your night? The next comment, it happened, I swear to God, it's like Jesus himself was testing me. It happened about 4 or 5 times. And each time I was like, really? What do you think you're going to do for the next week? Have you got anything to look forward to? I literally was like, I was Queen Serene. So anyway, I went to bed, and normally, I don't know if I'm conveying this to you properly, but normally this situation would have resulted in me having a panic attack and a crying episode for about 2 days. And I don't just mean occasionally crying, I mean I would have had to have cancelled work, I wouldn't have been able to breathe, I would have been literally like hyperventilating. And for the first time, I was just like, I'm okay. I went to sleep. I woke up the next day. The next day I saw the person, and I did say to him, you do remember what you said last night, right? And you do remember that I did say that I was feeling anxious. And you know what? They apologised. They just completely apologised. And it was like no big thing. It was like, oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it. And therefore, I had the absolute... I told you I've lost my words since I've been pregnant, right? My vocabulary is just gone. I can't find it. Where is it? Can anyone find it? Can you return it to me? Let me know. I was absolutely blown away by how this simple little tool can absolutely change everything in your life. You can use this for any kind of event that is upsetting you, making you angry. Simply change your reaction. I would highly recommend Jack Canfield's book. It's called The Success Principles. But if you're not a big reader, I mean, fucking hell, this book, you could use it as a doorstop. It's huge. You can also find it on YouTube. I will leave a link down below, and I'll try and show, I don't know what I'll do. I'll show you, just type it in the search bar. You know what to do. You're here, you're on YouTube, you know how to use this. I want to say a big thank you again this week, and I've been doing it every week, but it's because I really mean it, to you, because doing this channel and focusing my energy on this has been helping me 100%. Anything in life that makes you happy keeps your vibration high, and doing this channel creatively, emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatevs, actually keeps me so happy. And believe it or not, you guys are really helping me. Your positive comments, your thumbs up, your shares, the views, it makes me realise that I am on the right path and that what I'm doing is the right thing. I absolutely love making this channel, and any way that I can improve it, please do let me know in the comments down below. I've had quite a few messages from you over the last week about my video to do with forgiveness and forgiving people in any circumstances, and a couple of you absolutely brought me to tears. Like, it makes me so happy that this is helping you. There's one particular girl who, I won't name anyone because I don't want to like name and shame you, but she's graduating this week and she's speaking to her dad and forgiving him after like many years. So congratulations on your graduation, and I'm really happy that you've decided to forgive, because honestly, none of this stuff is difficult to grasp. Like, it's simple, it's easy, but it's so difficult to apply actually in your life. And I find that actually quite often you guys do make me a better person, because I think, well, I've got to practice what I preach, right? Like, I've got to follow through on what I'm saying. And so yeah, just wanted to say thank you again, because this is really helping me. If you haven't already, I'm sure you are, but if you would like to follow my Instagram account, I'm nearly at like 7,000 or 8,000, I can't remember what now, but I'm at Law of Attraction Changed My Life, and I post there pretty much daily. I also have a Facebook page, and that's totes different. I don't really like repost the stuff from the Instagram on my Facebook. There I just repost really interesting articles and things that I've seen on Facebook. So I take like the best that I've found and put it all in one place for you. So come and follow me there too. I'm at Law of Attraction Changed My Life. And I will see you next Friday. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and thumbs up if you like this video, comment, let me know any of your thoughts, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.